All right, so this morning my alarm went off and I was just so tired. The last thing in the world I wanted to do was wake up. But my workouts have been going really, really well, and I'm extremely happy with how I feel and what I'm capable of at the moment. So I didn't want to break that momentum. So I forced myself out of bed and headed to the gym. And when I got there, there's a sign on the door that they're closed for renovations. I'm like, man. Needless to say, I was quite disappointed. So I know one of the first things I thought, well, I'm tired anyway, maybe I'll just go home and go to sleep. Or I could go to 24-hour fitness and work out there. I'm like, no, it's always so crowded, and I've already driven 10 minutes the other direction, and by the time I get there, I'm gonna have less time than I normally do when I show up. And with all the people in the way, it's just gonna be a frustrating experience. Why don't I just go to that park I like so much and do some sprints? I love sprinting, and I haven't done it in a long time. So that's what I did. And it felt really, really good. I love sprinting. I wish that I could stay on top of that. I have mentioned before on this channel that all the times in my life when I felt my absolute best are times when I've been doing sprints regularly. Like way back in 2010 when I won the little local strongman contest, I was doing sprints twice a week, and I knew that there are a lot of really big, thick, strong guys on this island, and the only way I was gonna have a chance to even try to compete was to be in really good shape and be really, really fast, because I knew I wouldn't be as strong as some of these guys. But if I could be strong enough to move the implements, maybe with my speed and my cardiovascular endurance and all that, I might be able to compete with them even though they were stronger. And that's basically what happened. So my theory panned out well, and that's why I've always liked the Arnold Strongman contest, is because it's so heavy that I feel it does a better job of letting the strongest person win, whereas the World's Strongest Man contest is still amazing, and the people in that are still super, super strong, but sometimes I don't feel like the strongest man wins. Like back in the day, the guy from Poland who won 5 times, he was really, really good and really, really strong, and I like him, but he wasn't as strong as Zydrunas Savickas. He just wasn't. Everybody knows that Big Z is one of the strongest men ever to compete, but because this guy was in such incredible shape, he could do some of the events faster, get better times, and that's why he always ended up winning. And that's basically how mine went. That's why I like the Arnold, because as you know, Big Z won that one like 6 years in a row or something, because he's so strong. And it wasn't until Brian Shaw came that he actually had someone up in his strength level to compete against. So I think it's cool that right now the world's strongest man is actually a legit super strong guy. But I'm sorry I went off on that tangent. It's easy to do when you're obsessed with something. My point is, it was really, really fun to sprint today. It was a productive use of my time. I was still working on speed and power. And that's what I want for you, is if some kind of unfortunate circumstance makes it so that you can't do what you intended that day, think of some kind of creative alternative where you're still taking yourself forward, where you're still accomplishing something you want to accomplish. So that's all I was trying to get across today, and for me it worked out great, because it was wonderful getting to sprint again.